Oh yeah, Mr. MCA is finally back with the racing video. It's only been like a million years, but yeah. Yeah, it's been a while since I've put up a racing video, but it's good to finally be back. And oh gosh. So here's the thing, the GR Supra GT Cup, it's a league that for some reason I have a really great interest in. So when this league was announced a while ago, I knew I was all on board with it. And the thing that I keep on forgetting is that this league can definitely be full of memes. And I mean that in a funny and bad way. You'll see what I mean in a bit. So already this video actually is a bit of a meme because I accidentally deleted the race footage from my hard drive. So that's already something, well, kind of stupid I did. And I ended up qualifying 13th place because I had a really bad qualifying session. I don't want to talk about it. Let's go ahead and go to the race. So anyways, the race itself, this is round 1 of the GR Supra GT Cup for the 2020 season on Fuji International Speedway. And if you've driven through Fuji International Speedway, you'll know that turn 1 is a bit of a hairpin turn, which means that it's going to be Punt City. Or at least I hope it's not Punt City because this lobby is stacked, so I hope that everyone knows what they're doing. So everyone's going to go to the inside and I'm just going to hang out a bit on the outside and hope that I don't get bumped into and get unnecessary penalty. And already we got Punt City going on, and yep, there we go. We got the unnecessary penalty for being hit. That is the penalty system working at its finest. Not. So I'm already pretty flustered, and at this point we're not even halfway into lap 1 and I'm just not having it. We're getting bumped around, and yeah, so I'm not too happy about how this is going. I'm already down to 17th, and with a 2-second penalty I could probably end up in last place by the time we finish lap 1, or actually at least be on 19th or 20th place because we have a buddy over here who also has a 2-second penalty. And yeah, I'm just not having it right now. We're down to 18th place, and already at this point we're not even done with lap 1, and I just can't take this race seriously anymore. But we're going to keep on going, and already 2 people are heading off from their cameo in this video. So we're just going to keep on going. Luckily we're pretty close, but that progress that we're making now is not going to matter as much as we still have to serve a 2-second penalty. The worst thing is that the penalty zone, the penalty serving zone, is on the main straight, so you're going to be losing a lot more time than just those 2 seconds. And I'm just trying to see how much progress I can make before I serve the penalty, but there's just a whole bunch of cars in the way, so it's going to be very difficult to try to squeeze on in. Someone up ahead just got a penalty for some reason, but we're going to go ahead and serve the penalty. And oh boy, yep, there we go. We're going to go ahead and wave goodbye to them as we get left behind on 17th place, or in 17th place. So we're going to fast forward through the main straight, and eventually we are going to get caught up with. And that is just because we had to serve a 2-second penalty, which is actually like a lot longer than 2 seconds. So our friend over here on the left is just going to hang out with us for a while. We're pretty much just going to start battling it out, and I don't mind that because at this point, I mean, I already lost so much progress, so I'm kind of just not taking things too seriously at this point. One thing that we do have to be careful with is the tire wear. So the tire wear is pretty high, so you have to be really careful with how you treat them and just try not to slide around too much. Don't scrub the tires. Otherwise, you're going to have tires that are really worn out towards the end of the race, and because everyone in this race knows that the no stop is the best way to go, if you don't treat your tires that well, then you're pretty much screwed at the end of the race. So we did end up outbraking our friend who was with us for a while, and 16th place is still not too far away, so we can still definitely make some good progress, especially as they're all jumbled up together. So if they all end up fighting, then we can easily catch up to them and try to make our way through. And that we did. We were able to spend the past couple of laps just slowly getting on the pack ahead of us, and at the start of lap 5 we are able to catch up to the pack ahead of us. Now the question is, how the heck are we going to try to weave our way through? Our friend over here, Nick KL, he's a really fast player, so it's going to be a bit difficult to try to find a way around him. So we're just going to hang back for a little bit and just try to figure out what we're going to do, as the car ahead of us just ends up breaking out of nowhere, ends up collecting Nick with him. Don't know exactly what happened, but we are now in a 3-car battle just to try to get ahead, and we are hanging out in front just for the time being, just trying to get the racing line and just try to get the heck away from them, because I do not want to be involved in this fight anymore. 13th place is not too far up ahead, and we keep on battling with 15th and 16th place, then we're just gonna get left behind, as 14th place is just gonna go ahead and make his way through. But I'm gonna say no thank you, let me take 14th place again, thank you very much, goodbye. And that's pretty much it for hopefully for now, as I'm hoping that they just start fighting each other instead of me, because there's a big group of cars ahead of us and it looks very irresistible to go over there. So we're going to see if we could try to catch up to them and hopefully do it a little bit sooner, so we can try to get a couple more overtakes before we reach the final lap. So even though these races are looking like they're going to be tire saving races, I do appreciate that a little bit more than the fuel saving races, because the way that it was last year, you had to do a crazy amount of short shifting and fuel map adjustments just to try to make the car last the entire race without having to refuel, as that was the faster way of completing the race than having to go into the pit stop, refuel, and go back out. I think there was only one case, actually 2 cases, where refueling was actually a bit faster, but out of, I think it was like 13 rounds, and only 2 of them were possible to refuel and still finish up ahead. I mean, it kind of tells you how, I guess, boring it got through the crazy amount of fuel saving that you had to do. So with this one, you don't have to do any fuel saving at all. This is more about trying to conserve your tire life. So 13th place, our friend Girza, hello over there. Thank you for letting me pass you. He just served his penalty for, I don't know what it was for. And we're just going to try to sneak on up to 12th place. And actually there's still a big group of cars up ahead, so we can still make quite a bit of progress within these last couple of laps. However, the nice thing is that we are back at where we started in 13th place. So if the race were to end right now, I honestly wouldn't mind that at all. I'm just happy that I was able to claw my way back through these positions. And we do have a chance of making up another position, as 12th place ended up getting a half-second penalty. And once again, that penalty serving zone is on the main street, so a half-second penalty is actually going to be much more than that, because you're just going a lot slower than those who did not serve the penalty. And we still have a big group of cars ahead of us, so we can still definitely make some good progress over here, as 10th place now has a penalty as well. So we can definitely end up getting really close to the top 10, as 11th place right now is the only one out of the 3 ahead of us that does not have a penalty. We're just trying to be really careful through here, just trying not to do anything silly. And it's going to be a little bit harder to not do anything silly, as the car is going to be a lot more understeery due to the tire wear being really noticeable now. So we're just going to go ahead and fast forward through this. Those 2 cars end up serving their penalties, and we're just going to be hanging out not too far behind 10th place. 6th place is actually all the way up ahead in that pack, so it is possible to catch up to them if they all start to battle it out to the death. However, I'm starting to slide around because the tire wear is really kicking in for me. Robert over on the left is knocking on the door asking if he can come in, and I'm trying to say no, but the car is saying yes because it's just struggling just to try to make the turns, and I'm just not having a good time over here. I'm kind of just losing my cool over here, so I'm just going to go ahead and let Robert pass by because he's right on our behinds. So we're just going to go ahead and just try to tuck under his slipstream, just try to follow him around because he is a really fast player. So we can try to see if he can make up some positions, and then we can just follow up with him and try to take a couple positions ourselves. And even though we did fall down to 12th place, this is still kind of the cherry on the top for me, just because I climbed back up to 13th place after the meme of the first lap, and we're just able to climb our way back through. So if we're able to follow Robert around and get a couple positions for the both of us, then I think that's definitely a win-win for the both of us. So we have to try to make this work, as we are coming up to the last lap and things are getting a little bit feisty up ahead. Someone did just get a penalty, so we can try to get a little bit closer, so when we come back around for the final time, we can try to get at least one more overtake and potentially finish at least on 11th place. And you know, it's actually been interesting because, at least in my view, I haven't seen a full-on punt happen in this race at all. So other than the first lap shenanigans, it has been pretty clean. Oh god, never mind. I take that back. Yep, we just got punted on the final lap. Final lap shenanigans. This is definitely meme racing. GR Supra Meme Cup confirmed. So even though we did get punted, we are falling down just one position to 13th place, and we're back at where we started. So as long as we can try to just hold it together, then I can just say that this was an okay race for me at the very least. The one who did punt, he ended up staying for us to pass him again, so that was nice of him, and he did end up apologizing after the race, so everything is good. And I mean, to be honest, after the shenanigans that happened on the first lap, I just couldn't be mad at the punt. I mean, this race was kind of like a joke to me. I just couldn't take it seriously. So after that punt, I mean, I don't know. I kind of just ended up laughing when that punt happened. So we are getting chased down by our friend Nick, and we're just going to see if we could try to hold him down for a little bit longer. We only have a couple more corners to go, and that main straight. Just trying to be super careful around here. It's really easy for the car to want to lose control, as I have to try to do a bit of counter steering just to try to keep this car under control. Just trying to be super gentle, just trying not to bin it at this point. And luckily we were able to get through those final couple of corners nice and clean, and we are able to keep the 13th position. So we ended up finishing where we started. Again, things could have been so much worse. I'm just happy to finish where I started. And yeah, so this was definitely a meme of a race. Hopefully the next Super Cup race ends up being a lot better. But other than that, it is time for me to sign off now, as we have reached the end of the video. This was definitely a fun video to make because I got to relive all the shenanigans that happened in this race, and I get to share it with all of you. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. So this is Mr. MCA wishing you all a good race, and I'll see you in the next video.